चल हो जा शुरू।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Shravan, over to you. Please tell us what's really happening. How long before the ministers in waiting and other guests start arriving?
Well, in fact, we'll also play out that report coming in from Rashtrapati Bhavan. Our reporters getting you a sneak peek of all the arrangements that have essentially been made. In fact, Abhishek, a short while back, the information that came in at the forecourt of Rashtrapati Bhavan, we are already looking at the guests who are arriving, the foreign dignitaries who would also be present, a total of about 9,000 guests who would be present. Now, the unique aspect of the swearing-in ceremony today, apart from what we had seen in 2014 and 2019, 2014 when the BIMSTEC leaders were present, 2019 SAARC country leaders, and this time there is also a messaging that has been done by the government in terms of the political representation or the political dialogue that one would expect this government to take up in the days to come. Now, just quickly with regards to the report that came in a short while back, the Shramjeevis who have been, who are part of the construction of the new parliament, the Central Vista program, and also not to forget the flagship programs of the government. And all of them have now been invited by the government to be part of the swearing-in ceremony. They would be part of the 9,000 guests who would be part of the swearing-in ceremony, which is expected to begin in a short while from now. I'm reporting from outside the Prime Minister's residence, expecting the Prime Minister would be leaving in a short while from now. Remember, the meetings that have already taken place right now, that's come to an end. The latest update coming in from the JDU camp a short while back, Lalan Singh had reached JDU Chief Nitish Kumar's residence, images that came in a short while back.
Okay, Shravan, while we keep getting those live pictures in between of what's really happening on the ground, we continue our conversation. And we were having, before we went into a break, which is that there are going to be coalition compulsions in this government in Modi 3.0 vis-a-vis Modi 1.0 and 2.0. Now, I was looking at some numbers and Omkareshwar ji, if I could come to you on that. We have had last 10 years of a government which was a coalition government, by the way. It was NDA government after all, but it was not dependent on coalition allies. Of course, we are getting these live pictures of security preparations going on at the Rashtrapati Bhavan forecourts. And coming back to the conversation, we have had coalition governments earlier which have been dependent on coalition partners, right? Both the UPA 1 and UPA 2, the United Front governments, the NDA governments earlier under Prime Minister Vajpayee, and even the Narasimha Rao government was not a majority government, though did not have a UPA formation, but it was dependent on some allies. But the fact of the matter is, if you look at the economic reforms, if you look at the nuclear tests, if you look at the manner in which the Vajpayee government conducted the Kargil war, right? And whatever important decisions even the UPA 1, UPA 2 governments took, the governance did not get affected, right? So what's the issue?
The issue is inter-contradictions within the party coalition partner. If you are able to, cope up with them, the coalition itself is a Latin word which means grow together. So if they are growing together without any contradiction, if they are growing together with communication, with coordination, with collaboration, and keeping the views of others into consideration, then there will be a longevity. Otherwise, but in this coalition, we can see there are a lot of contradictions. There are a lot of parties which has the contradictory, political interests and political ideologies. So that's why there are a question arising whether this coalition will survive for a long time or not.
Okay. Rajputra.
Let me respond.
Deshratna Nigam, yes.
No, one thing I do not agree with Mr. Pandey is it's a pre-poll coalition. where everybody campaigned for each other. Not a post-poll coalition where the contradictions are there. They went into the field with their programs and
something Chandrababu Naidu mentioned.
Yes.
That Prime Minister's campaign in Andhra made a hell of a difference to the result.
It is the pre-poll coalition. You can see that Nitish Kumar had started, he was the one who introduced the, caste-based census. And he implemented caste-based reservation also in Bihar Assembly. So Bihar, So, and on the other hand, Chandrababu Naidu is there who is clearly saying that he is going to give the 4% reservation to the Muslims. And these are the issues which are directly, in contradiction with the BJP.
Okay, answer that. Because there are issues on which there is absolute divergence of opinion between these avowedly secular allies, by the way, both TDP and JDU and the BJP. So on the issue of caste census, on the issue of Agniveer, insofar as JDU is concerned, on the issue of Muslim reservations, remember Chandrababu Naidu, the TDP manifesto, at least if not the NDA manifesto, has spoken about giving 4% reservation to Muslims in Andhra. So on those issues, obviously, the BJP will have to relook at its own principles.
Let me answer, Pandeyji, on these contagious issues which will be some reason for distance. But before that, for the audience sake, they should know in this country, we have total 15 prime ministers. If I include Gujarilal Nanda, the temporary prime minister, also a prime minister. Otherwise, we had 14 prime ministers. And Mr. Pandey, you should understand, there were 2 prime ministers whose face was shown as to be the prime ministerial candidate when they contest for the first time. Only 2 candidates, Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Narendra Modi, who went to election with the face that they will be there. None other. Nehruji was gifted, Indiraji was gifted, Rajivji became circumstantial beneficiary, all other were beneficiaries of Prime Minister. So there was no agenda of the Prime Minister. Number 2, let me complete.
But the question
Sir, let me complete. Sir, I'm requesting, let me complete. I'll come to that question also. And there were only 2 Prime Ministers in this country who never had an elected parliament, whether it was Nehruji or Indiraji, who forced to become Prime Minister by emergency or gifted by the Britishers. Sir,
this Prime Minister.
the differences occur. Now I'll tell you.
Votes polled for him.
Okay, lowest number of votes polled, really? Let me just get you the facts.
Which I have got is far more than what Manmohan Singh ji had, sir.
Chandra Sekhar.
Let me get you the facts.
The lowest number of votes.
Let me get you
the election.
Let me get you the facts. Are you talking about seat share or vote share?
Vote share. Vote share.
Let me correct you.
BJP at 36 is less than Chandra Sekhar?
I'm talking about his personal votes. Personal votes of Prime Minister.
No, those are local
like your way
language.
to do this, but sir,
What do you call
but sir,
personal
let me tell you.
Vote for the Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Varanasi constituency is the lowest among all other Prime Ministers.
So let me tell you, sir. Let me tell you one thing.
Yes.
This is a pre-war alliance, A. B, it's a popular leader, not only within the Bharatiya Janata Party, but also the NDA and also amongst the India alliances. So wait for time. It's a matter of time when you have many of your members of India alliances who will like to join the government, sir.
Do we have...
These coalition partners are not a natural ally of BJP. Let me
Oh,
tell
you mean to say
hold
Mamata...
on.
Mamata Banerjee and Rahul Gandhi are natural allies?
I'm not saying whether they are natural. They are natural. Mamata, ideology of Mamata and Congress is not so much contradictory.
Are you sure?
But there is a clear
Are you sure
contradiction.
Mamata Banerjee boycotted Nyaya Yatra because she thought that Rahul Gandhi is encroaching on her area,
because
on her turf?
She wanted to, strengthen her own vote bank.
Obviously,
And
so they fish in the same pond.
Ultimately,
They fish in the same pond.
to the India alliance.
They fish in the same pond. There are no complementarities. In fact, they are more at loggerheads than this alliance. But then let me get you the numbers, which always helps to buttress your facts with numbers. Rajputra Chandra, are you still there? Because you suggested that the center of power seems to have shifted to Patna and to Vijayawada. But let's look at the numbers. You know, the BJP has 243 seats on its own in the 18th Lok Sabha. If you look at what was the number of the Congress party, in UPA 1, 145 seats, in UPA 2, 206 seats. If you look at earlier coalition governments, even the Vajpayee government had 161 seats once and 186 seats next.
182.
182 seats, yes.
Then it was 100.
So if you look at all the coalition governments that we have had, the core of the coalition, which Congress in the case of UPA 1 and UPA 2, and the BJP in the case of Narendra Modi now, the Narendra Modi 3.0 government now, it's the biggest in terms of seat share, with 86% in the coalition. 86% number of seats wise, right? 86% is with the BJP, the core. So how is the government unstable in any manner?
You are unstable because you don't have the clear majority. Whether you have 86%
but
or not,
none of the coalition
you do not
governments...
have the, your other partners.
Mr. Pandey, I'm sorry, I
32.
don't do that normally, but let me tell you.
Yes.
While Manmohan Singh ji had 145, that time BJP alone had 138. Whereas today this is not the case. Number two, when Manmohan Singh ji got re-elected with 206, BJP alone had 160.
If you are satisfied with your numbers, if you are satisfied with these numbers, I am not satisfied. I can see what is happening and I can see what are the issues between the coalition partners.
DMK does not see eye to eye with you in West Bengal. Do you think this will happen? The DMK will...
You had said that your doors are closed for Nitish Babu.
Kerala.
Chandra Babu Naidu had said that Prime Minister is Atangavadi.
So
there is no natural ally.
This number is 240. And see, 240 is more than the entire India alliance.
Let me get it.
Entire India alliance.
Let me get it. I think numbers wise, both in terms of seat share and vote share, this is a strong government. This is the strongest coalition government ever, I believe. Yes, right? Absolutely. And so there is no doubt, or there should be no doubt in anyone's mind as to the stability of the government and its capacity to govern
and deliver,
right?
Abhishek ji, there is one line. The principal ruling party and the principal opposition party. See, in Manmohan Singh ji's era, 145 was the principal ruling party and the principal opposition party, Bharatiya Janata Party, had 138. Right. Only gap of 7.
Right.
Today, the principal ruling party, Bharatiya Janata Party, has 240.
Right.
And if I assume that Rahul ji does some kind of impact, they are mere 99. The entire opposition bloc, which is called as INDI bloc, does not have 240.
Yeah, Rajputra,
with all the contradictions.
Rajputra, how do you contest that? These numbers and these facts?
See, everyone had compulsions in terms of coalition, in terms of forming a coalition government, but no one said something so hostile like this कि बहुत आयाराम गयाराम कर लिए. इसमें जो दरार पैदा होता है, ऐसा कुछ कहने से जो एक सहयोगी दल के साथ दूसरा सहयोगी दल के साथ एक इतना बड़ा दरार पैदा होता है कि वो कभी भी टूट सकता है,
Okay, I believe Shravan has a question. Shravan, you want to join in? Please join in. Please feel free to join in the conversation. Shravan, you have a question.
Well, Vineet Koika, if I can also bring you in right now, let's admit this, that the government perhaps will also find few of the key issues to navigate through a little difficult, given the fact that you've already had the JDU saying that you need to revisit the Agniveer policy. You've had Chirag Paswan saying the same thing. Somewhere down the line, the government will have to find a fine balance and perhaps be able to deliver what they have already promised. And let's not forget what the TDP is now coming out and saying, that as far as Muslim reservation is concerned, it is what the TDP feels the coalition will have to come around.
See, I see both Mr. Naidu and Mr. Nitish Kumar very matured. They understand this. And of course, when there is a coalition, there is some kind of, understanding. And policies are made for the betterment of the people, the citizens. It are also amended, they are also changed as and when required. So I'm sure decisions will be taken in the interest of the larger part of the country, A. But this is the third term. Antodaya will be priority, where Charivat will be priority.
Vineet Goenka, I want to add to this. How do you explain, or how do you see the BJP position evolving on the issue of Muslim reservation, for example, in the case of Andhra Pradesh, right? It's part of TDP's manifesto, right? Jaishankar, you want to comment?
Let me tell you, even if they introduce it,
little louder.
Even if they introduce this 4% Muslim reservation, it is not permitted under the constitution. That's one hurdle that they have to face. And ultimately, if they do something illegal, unconstitutional, this will be challenged in the highest court, and they will have to pronounce a judgment. As
So you mean to say BJP need not do anything, the courts would do?
Courts would. Ultimately, the courts will have to weigh in on this subject, because if you are circumventing it, calling them an OBC, bringing them
In
to a
which
back
case,
door.
at least the BJP would be compromising on rhetoric, because ultimately it's your ally bear in power, right? In the case of TDP.
Actually incorrect. Let me correct you. The already reservation to various Muslim classes, I'm saying classes, not the castes, are given by the government of India. 2010-11 PIB press note is evident. You can search on Google and you can find out. And it is given not only in one state, in many states and almost in every state. Almost, I'm saying, including of Gujarat, where 70 classes of the Muslims have been given reservations.
Mr. Pandey, no, hold on.